Let's talk about mutual funds. A mutual fund is an investment company wherein your money is combined with that of different individuals and companies, then invested in different assets to make it grow. What are some of the benefits of investing in mutual funds? Experts decide where to invest your money to make it grow. You can redeem or sell your investment shares anytime. Your investments may earn more than traditional bank deposits. You can invest in different types of mutual funds depending on how much risk you're willing to take. Are you very conservative? The money market fund is best. Is taking a risk okay with you? Invest in an equity type fund. Somewhere in between? Opt for the balance type fund. Choose the fund that fits your need and be one step closer to a brighter future. Start your financial journey today with Sun Life Asset Management. You've got goals, but it takes funds and proper planning before they can all turn into reality. Get on track with the Sun Life Prosperity Achiever Funds, the first target date investment fund in the Philippines. The fund automatically makes changes on how your money is invested to maximize your investment's potential returns as you approach your target date, allowing you to build your wealth and realize your goals as scheduled. Simply choose the Achiever Fund that is closest to your target date and make your initial investment for as low as 1,000 pesos. Then, grow your money even more by regularly adding to your investment. Begin your journey to prosperity on a bright note and achieve your goals on time. Talk to a Sun Life financial advisor today or get in touch with us via phone or email. Get on track with the Sun Life Prosperity Achiever Funds, only from Sun Life Asset Management. In case you didn't know yet, investing can be easy, convenient. At Sun Life Asset Management, it's possible. With 2 programs designed to help you have a wonderful journey to prosperity: Bills Payment and Auto Invest. With Bills Payment, you can add to your investments through the Bills Payment facilities of our partner banks. No need to go to a Sun Life branch and fill out forms to enjoy the Bills Payment service. 1. Log into your online or mobile banking account and enroll the Sun Life Prosperity Mutual Fund as biller. 2. Key in the required information of your account. 3. Upon confirmation from your bank, you can add to your investments. You can also do scheduled additions to your investments depending on your online banking functions. Our partner banks also accept additional investments over the counter at any of their branches nationwide. By using our Bills Payment service, you're already one step closer to a brighter future. Auto Invest. With Auto Invest, you can make regular monthly or quarterly investments straight from your bank account. Here's why you should try it. Cashless convenience. No monthly bills. No fund transfers. No queuing. Develop an investing habit. You automatically invest and reduce the risk of spending your entire income. Peso cost averaging. An automatic investment plan reduces the overall cost of your investment since you receive more shares when the price is low, offsetting periods that give you fewer shares when the price is high. Check if you have an account with any of our bank partners. Download the Sun Life Prosperity Fund's Auto Invest Enrollment Form at the Sun Life website and fill out your bank's automatic debit arrangement form. Submit both forms to any Sun Life financial branch or client center. And just like that, you're on your way to financial prosperity, bills payment, and auto invest. Achieving prosperity has never been this hassle-free. Only from Sun Life Asset Management.
Pangmatagalan ang ating pagsasamahan. Ang pangako kong ito iyong maaasahan.
Excited na ako to build our own home. To travel together more. To protect and support. Always. For the rest of my life. Ang dami kong natutunan sa'yo. You taught me how to plan and be sure of it. To know myself more and appreciate things I can do to grow a financial relationship that assures a future.
You deserve this. Consistent ka kasi. Tama lang to bring this to the next level. So, Sir Mateo, you know what to do na. Go to sunlifefunds.com, then click na tayo.
Matagal na tayong click. Madali naman to decide on things and commit. Basta sure ka. And the best way to be sure is to be ready and be fully informed. Just like when you're investing, you have to be ready for a long-term financial relationship. Pamatagalan. Like a lifetime partnership I have with Sun Life.
For as low as 1,000 pesos, you can start investing for your future. Make it mutual with Sun Life.
Pagyayamanin ang bukas at sa habang panahon. Pangmatagalan ang ating samahan.
Kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, kaya sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa litig mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuyagan ang magiting, sa mandulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nalagang tulog sa simoy at sa langit ko banglaw, ay ginagang tulang awit sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng matawag mo'y tagumpay na
The pursuit of prosperity. It begins with dreaming. Imagine what you want for the future, not only for yourself, but also for your loved ones. Then you act on those dreams, finding a way to make them come true and staying the course no matter the odds. Sometimes it can be overwhelming. It can be discouraging. But when you have a partner guiding you, it becomes easier. We can give you a hand. For the past 20 years, Sun Life Asset Management has been partnering with Filipinos in their pursuit of prosperity through mutual fund investments. We offer professional advice, a wide variety of products and relevant wealth solutions, innovative tools, and excellent service. We're here to help you stay on track so you can achieve your financial goals and keep making new ones. This is a role we are committed to. This is a mission we take pride in. It would be our honor as your lifetime partner in your journey to prosperity. We are Sun Life Asset Management.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the continuation of the joint annual stockholders meeting of the Sun Life Prosperity Funds. The following are present in this morning's meeting: the chairman of the Sun Life Prosperity Funds, Mr. Benedicto Sison; the other directors, Ms. Valerie Pama, Attorney Oscar Orbos, Attorney Aleli Angela Quirino, Mr. Oscar Reyes, Dr. Shelito Habito, and the fund's president and director, Ms. Maria Josefina Castillo. Mr. Sison?
So good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the continuation of the joint annual stockholders meetings of the following Sun Life Prosperity Funds: Sun Life of Canada Prosperity Balance Fund, Sun Life of Canada Prosperity Philippine Equity Fund, Sun Life Prosperity Dollar Advantage Fund, Sun Life Prosperity Dollar Abundance Fund, Sun Life Prosperity Dynamic Fund, Sun Life Prosperity GS Fund, Sun Life Prosperity Philippine Stock Index Fund, Sun Life Prosperity World Voyager Fund, and Sun Life Prosperity Dollar Starter Fund. I'm Benedict Sison, Chairman of the Sun Life Prosperity Funds, and joining me are the other directors: Attorney Oscar Orbos, Attorney Aleli Angela Quirino, Mr. Oscar Reyes, Dr. Shelito Habito, Ms. Valerie Pama, and the fund's president and director, Ms. Joy Castillo. We also have our corporate secretary, Attorney Kate Ibero, and assistant corporate secretary, Attorney Yanni Canto, as part of the panel. Attorney Kate, may we confirm whether we have a quorum?
Good morning, everyone. This is the continuation of the joint annual stockholders meeting held as July 22, 2020, for which notices were sent to 100% of the stockholders entitled to vote as of April 30, 2020. For this continuation meeting, additional notices were sent electronically and posted on the SLAMCI website. This is to confirm that the holding of this virtual continuation meeting is in accordance with the requirements set forth by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Likewise, the necessary approvals from the Board of Directors have been obtained and all requirements have been complied with in order to protect the interests of the stockholders. Based on the attendance sheet as well as the proxies received before the meeting last July 22, in this continuation meeting, the combined attendance for today's meeting is as follows. For the balance fund, it's 877,873,995 shares, representing 35.89% of the voting stock of the corporation. For the Philippine Equity Fund, it's 615,495,319 shares, representing 28.46% of the voting stock of the corporation. For the Dollar Advantage Fund, it's 2,404,024 shares, representing 25.34% of the voting stock of the corporation. For the Dollar Abundance Fund, it's 1,193,302 shares, representing 25.66% of the voting stock of the corporation. For the Dynamic Fund, it's 713,137,679 shares, representing 46.93% of the voting stock of the corporation. For the GS Fund, it's 70,560,224 shares, representing 43.06% of the voting stock of the corporation. For the Philippine Stock Index Fund, it's 1,744,207,861 shares, representing 52.34% of the voting stock of the corporation. For the World Voyager Fund, it's 1,600,371 shares, representing 26.68% of the voting stock of the corporation. For the Dollar Starter Fund, it's 2,681,602 shares, representing 44.89% of the voting stock of the corporation. Mr. Chairman, we can now proceed with the meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Attorney Kate. We now move on to the next item on our agenda. Based on our records, the following companies failed to elect a new set of directors last July, and their boards continue to serve in a holdover capacity. Balanced, Philippine Equity, Dollar Advantage, Dollar Abundance, Dynamic Fund, GS, World Voyager, and Dollar Starter Funds. Together with the votes cast in person or by proxy last July, we will now proceed to elect the members of the Board of Directors for the 2020-2021 term. Attorney Kate, could you explain our voting procedure and introduce the nominees?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Both the voting procedure and the resumes of our nominees for directors have been stated in the SEC Form 20-IS, and such form was sent to our stockholders of record. I request Attorney Yanni to read the rules and procedures, please.
Gladly, Attorney Kate. May I direct your attention to the rules and procedures as displayed on the screen. First, preliminary results of votes on proxies submitted and validated as of September 17, 2020, including the votes cast last July, shall be provided during the meeting. The final combined results shall be reflected in the minutes of the meeting. Second, stockholders who registered in this meeting or notified the corporate secretary via email of their intention to participate in this meeting through remote communication may email their questions, comments, clarifications, and suggestions to sunlifefunds@sunlife.com. Third, eligible stockholders may cast their votes through the poll function of Zoom. Investors will be given ample time to cast their votes. Lastly, votes flashed on the screen are preliminary results of the proxies obtained from the proxy submitted. Votes cast during the continuation meeting shall be included in the final tabulation of votes at the end of the meeting proper.
Attorney Kate.
Thank you, Attorney Yanni. We will now flash the pictures and names of our nominees on the screen. Our nominees are Mr. Benedicto C. Season for the following funds: GS Fund, Balanced Fund, Dynamic Fund, Philippine Equity Fund, Dollar Starter Fund, Dollar Abundance Fund, Dollar Advantage Fund, and the World Voyager Fund. Ms. Maria Josefina A. Castillo for GS Fund, Balanced Fund, Dynamic Fund, Philippine Equity Fund, Dollar Starter Fund, Dollar Abundance Fund, Dollar Advantage Fund, and the World Voyager Fund. Attorney Oscar M. Orbos as Independent Director of Dynamic Fund, Philippine Equity Fund, Dollar Starter Fund, Dollar Abundance Fund, Dollar Advantage Fund, and the World Voyager Fund. Attorney Aleli Angela G. Quirino, Independent Director of GS Fund, Balanced Fund, Dynamic Fund, Dollar Starter Fund, and the World Voyager Fund. Mr. Oscar S. Reyes as Independent Director of the GS Fund, Balanced Fund, Dynamic Fund, Philippine Equity Fund, Dollar Abundance Fund, and the Dollar Advantage Fund. Dr. Shelito F. Habito as Independent Director of GS Fund, Balanced Fund, Philippine Equity Fund, Dollar Starter Fund, Dollar Abundance Fund, Dollar Advantage Fund, and the World Voyager Fund. Kindly prepare to vote. A pop-out window will appear on your screen, providing you the nominees to be elected. You can now start by clicking in favor of your nominees, then submit. Mr. Chairman, it appears we cannot of directors for certain funds as majority of their respective outstanding capital stock was still not attained. Attorney Yanni, can you please provide us with the results?
Sure, Attorney Kate. On the screen, the following funds did not meet the required number of votes. Balanced Fund at 35.89%, Philippine Equity Fund at 28.54%, Dollar Advantage Fund at 25.34%, Dollar Abundance Fund at 25.67%, Dynamic Fund at 46.84%, GS Fund at 44.03%, World Voyager Fund at 26.75%, and Dollar Starter Fund at 44.93%.
Attorney Kate, what do you propose that we do?
In the meantime, the present Board of Directors for the said funds would continue to serve as such until their successors are elected and duly qualified in the next annual stockholders meeting.
Okay, all right. Since we lack the necessary majority of the outstanding capital stock to elect our directors for the boards of the funds mentioned by the corporate secretary, the present boards of directors of the Balanced, Philippine Equity, Dollar Advantage, Dollar Abundance, Dynamic Fund, GS, World Voyager, and Dollar Starter funds will continue to serve as such until their successors are elected and duly qualified in the next annual stockholders meeting. Okay, we now move on to the other matters. As to the other matters on the agenda, do we have the necessary numbers to have these approved?
Mr. Chair, the next items on the agenda require the approval of at least 2/3 or 66.67% of the outstanding capital stock for the amendment of Article 6 of the Articles of Incorporation to increase the number of directors to 6 for the following funds: Balance Fund, Dollar Abundance Fund, Dollar Advantage Fund, Philippine Equity Fund, GS Fund, Dynamic Fund, Stock Index Fund, and the World Voyager Fund. For the amendment of Article 3 of the Articles of Incorporation on the principal address as Sun Life Center, Bonifacio Global City, Taguig City, for the following funds: Balanced Fund, Dollar Abundance Fund, and Philippine Equity Fund. For the amendment of Section 1, Article 1 of the bylaws on the date and time of the annual stockholders meeting for the Balanced Fund. And lastly, for the delegation of power to amend Articles 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 of the bylaws to the Board of Directors for the Balanced Fund.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Kate. Let's proceed to the voting.
On your screen, it's for the amendment of Article 6 of the Articles of Incorporation to increase the number of directors to 6 for Balanced Fund, Abundance, Dollar Advantage, Philippine Equity Fund, GS Fund, Dynamic Fund, Stock Index Fund, and World Voyager Fund. May I invite the stockholders to now cast their vote. The poll is now on your screen. You will see the item on the amendment of Article 6 of the Articles of Incorporation. Kindly click your answer and submit.
Attorney Kate, let us now proceed with the second item.
Yes, Mr. Chair. The item number 2 represents the amendment of Article 3 of the Articles of Incorporation on the principal address of Sun Life Center, Bonifacio Global City, Taguig City. That's for the Balanced Fund, Dollar Abundance Fund, and the Philippine Equity Fund.
Let us proceed with the voting, Attorney Kate.
May I invite the stockholders to now cast their vote. On your screen, you will see the item on the amendment of Article 3 of the Articles of Incorporation. Kindly click your answer and submit.
Attorney Kate, let us now proceed with the third item.
Mr. Chair, the third item requires the approval of at least 50% plus 1 of the outstanding capital stock, which is for the amendment of Section 1, Article 1 of the bylaws on the date and time of annual stockholders meeting. That is for the Balanced Fund.
Okay, let us proceed with the voting, Attorney Kate.
May I invite the stockholders to now cast their vote. On your screen, you will see the third item regarding the amendment of Section 1, Article 1 of the bylaws. Please click your answer and submit.
Attorney Kate, let us now proceed with the fourth item.
Yes, Mr. Chair. The fourth item requires the approval of at least 50% plus 1 of the outstanding capital stock. That is, for the delegation of power to amend Articles 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 of the bylaws to the Board of Directors, which is for the Balanced Fund.
Okay, let us proceed with the voting, Attorney Kate.
May I invite the stockholders to now cast their votes. On your screen, you will see the item regarding the delegation of power to amend certain articles of the bylaws. Kindly click your answer and submit.
Attorney Kate, do we have the necessary numbers to have these approved?
Mr. Chairman, it appears that we cannot push through with the approval of the amendments of the articles of incorporation to increase the number of directors to 6, as the aforementioned funds, which required 2/3 vote of the outstanding capital stock, was still not obtained. For the balance fund, it's 36.39%. For the Philippine Equity Fund, it's 28.56%. For the Dollar Advantage Fund, it's 25.46%. For the Dollar Abundance Fund, it's 25.86%. For the Dynamic Fund, it's 47.03%. For the GS Fund, it's 43.48%. For the Philippine Stock Index Fund, it's 52.39%. And for the World Voyager Fund, it's 26.68%. Mr. Chair, we were also not able to gather the required 2/3 vote, or 66.67% of the outstanding capital stock for the amendment of the Articles of Incorporation to change the principal office address of the following funds. For the balance fund, we only got 36.35%. For the Dollar Abundance Fund, 25.72%. And for the Philippine Equity Fund, 28.53%. For the approval of the amendment of the bylaws of the balance fund, unfortunately, we were likewise unable to reach the requirement of 50% plus 1 of the outstanding capital stock. For Article 1, Section 1 of the bylaws, in relation to the date and time of the annual stockholders meeting, we only gathered 35.65%. And for the delegation of power to amend the Articles 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 of the bylaws to the Board of Directors, we only obtained 36.43% for the balance fund.
So, Attorney Kate, what do you propose that we do?
These items for approval will be carried over to the agenda for next year's annual stockholders meeting, Mr. Chair.
Okay, all right. Since we lack the necessary number of votes from the outstanding capital stock to have the proposal approved, we will resubmit these items to the stockholders during their next annual stockholders meeting in 2021. Attorney Kate, are there other matters for discussion?
Mr. Chair, as mentioned earlier, the stockholders may send their questions, comments, clarifications, and suggestions to sunlifefunds@sunlife.com. We will respond to these questions via email.
Okay, so thank you, Attorney Kate. Are there no other matters for discussion? So do I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I move to adjourn the meeting, Chair.
I second the motion.
Okay, so thank you very much to all of you who have attended this continuation of the joint annual stockholders meeting of the Sun Life Prosperity Funds. We hope to see you again next year.